Yeah, so I feel like the problem is just about family disputes.
Okay, what do you mean?
Yeah, the problem is more like a competition between him and Liam.
Between your father-in-law and your son?
Yes.
A competition?
It sounds funny, but that's the actual truth.
More things are actually happening now. So MohBad's wife gave a full interview on Today's platform yesterday, and in that interview she revealed a lot of things. It was a full confession. Well, I know we don't judge with just one side of the story. We also need to hear from Baba MohBad and even Mama MohBad. But with what MohBad's wife said, more wahala be like bicycle. The full credit for this video goes to Today. You can go over to his YouTube channel, subscribe, and watch the full content from the beginning to the end. One of the things that I take as a moral from this very story is that unity and bonding in every family is necessary. It is very funny and laughable, but from what MohBad's wife said, the unhealthy competition in the family is as a result of property. According to her, MohBad's dad is in an unhealthy competition with MohBad's son, Liam. It sounds funny, but this is what MohBad's wife said. Now here is the question. MohBad's dad gave birth to MohBad and raised him to a certain level before he started becoming popular and making money. Is he feeling entitled to a great chunk of MohBad's wealth? Is MohBad's wife feeling that Liam should be in total custody of MohBad's wealth? Is the problem hinged around property allocation and funds or wealth sharing? These are the little things that are causing issue in this family. Just watch the video and leave your comments in the comment section below, because everybody they talk from an angle. We say if you look at it go favor him.
Problem with your father-in-law exactly?
Yeah,
between you and him?
Yeah, so I feel like the problem is just about family disputes.
Okay, what do you mean?
The problem is more like a competition between him and Liam.
Between your father-in-law and your son?
Yes.
A competition?
It sounds funny, but that's the actual truth.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, because after the death of my husband, a lot happened, and my father-in-law wanted to be in control
of
my husband's properties.
Right.
The fact that there is Liam in the picture, because there was one time I actually called him to ask him, like, what happened? What do we do to deserve all of this? Like, why have you been out there defaming your grandchild and me? And he was like, why do I have to take Liam away from him? Why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place on the island? That means that is my husband rented apartment.
Right.
That was not supposed to bring him over to meet him in Ikorodu, because himself and my mother-in-law, they are not in good terms.
Right.
He was just trying to manipulate me.
Yes.
So,
So your father-in-law and your mother-in-law are not on good terms.
Yeah.
Right. So he was not asking, why did you take the son to the
after my husband's demise.
Yes, right.
So I explained to him, I made him understand that my mother-in-law has been the only one asking of Liam. He never did. Instead, he was always online defaming us, and then I apologized to him.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologized. I told you I was sorry that I would bring him over to him.
When was this?
That was I think 3 weeks after my husband's demise. Then it was like I started going online talking about the DNA.
Yes.
And
So he had already started talking about the DNA.
DNA, yes. That was when I called him.
Right. That's when you now called him.
Yes. So he made me understand that why do I have to take Liam to my mother-in-law's place? Like, is it not the owner of his grandchild? Like, trying to make me feel like a bad person. But I understand where he was heading to. So I just had to apologize to him to make things, to make things calm. Then I asked him again, like, what happened? Why are you doing this to me?
Right.
Then he responded by saying he's sure that a lot of people would have called me to tell me what he wants. And truly, a lot of people called me. My dad, my mother-in-law, my husband's friend, and few people we have around literally called me to tell me what he wants. And he told my father whatever that belongs to my husband, I know that I have access to, that I should make sure that I hand over everything to him, including the landed property God for Liam. So I told him the same thing that he has been telling people, like, this is what these people are telling me. And I made him understand that, Daddy, you have, like, my husband got you 2 lands before his demise, one in Ekiti and one in Ikorodu. Like, why do you want to take the one that belongs to Liam?
Right.
Then he was like, I shouldn't question him, that is what he wants. Then I said, okay. Then he was like, what effort? He said it in Yoruba. I don't know if you understand Yoruba.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so he said, lawyer promised tí mo pè pé kó gbé kan mú kó fún mi ní nǹkan mọ́ mi tó bá mi sọ wípé ó bímọ ṣé ọmọ mi náà fẹ́ máa lálẹ̀ fún mi ni. Like I don't know if I can translate it in English. So he actually said, he like what effrontery does my lawyer?
Does your lawyer have?
My husband's lawyer has. Right. He requested for his son's properties, and he was telling him that he has a son. So like, who is his grandchild to start asking him to start dictating what he wants?
That's why you talk about the competition between him and the grandchild.
Yeah.
So he said to his son's lawyer, who is the grandchild? To challenge him
exactly
on MohBad's
my husband's property. Yeah, but like this is one thing that most people do not know, and uninterested.
It seems that ever since MohBad died, you have not even had time to grieve your husband.
I've not even won the death of my husband. Like I've not even seen closure at all. You know, it still feels like my husband is still alive because he's in Yaba morgue. He has not been buried.
He has not been buried.
Yeah, he has not been buried. He has not been buried. It's so sad. He has not been buried. And he's been in pieces twice. You know, they literally did 2 autopsies. The government autopsy and the private autopsy my father-in-law did. Yeah. And I can tell you for a fact that there is no genuine reason why he's still there. My father-in-law has no genuine reason. But, you know, he's been granting interviews saying, oh, the government do not want him to get justice. The government is this, the government is that. Like, he's been manipulating the public. Like, he has said so many things. That you know, people, like, I don't feel like there's anything that people would say, people would, like, the people in public faces would believe it. I knew that there is a nurse involved in this case. You know, he reacted to rejection. And since my husband, even the night my husband died, that my father-in-law got to the house, you know, the nurse even narrated everything that happened to him. In fact, my husband's manager wanted to get the nurse arrested that night, but he asked us to let her go. That he does not have any business with her.
Your father-in-law asked them to let the nurse go.
That we should let her go. That he doesn't have any business with her. And you know, despite the begging that, you know, a lot of people begged him not to bury my husband, but he insisted I was going to bury him. In fact, even the day they wanted to bury my husband, they didn't inform me. I got to know online.
You were not informed that you were going to bury your husband.
Mr. Chu, a whole lot has happened. Even the day my husband, even the day of his burial, they wanted to kidnap Liam from me at this scene. Like, my father-in-law and there's one woman. The woman is like, I don't know. I don't want to call it. The woman is, but they have a relationship. They have a close relationship. You know, it's more like they had plans in collecting Liam from me that day, because it got worse to the extent that we had to put Liam inside nylon to take him out of that space.
So you're saying this battles you've been fighting started from the day
second day my husband died up to this moment. I knew that there is a nurse involved in this case. You know, he reacted to rejection. And since my husband, even the night my husband died, that my father-in-law got to the house, you know, the nurse even narrated everything that happened to him. In fact, my husband's manager wanted to get the nurse arrested that night, but he asked us to let her go. That he does not have any business with her.
Your father-in-law asked them to let the nurse go.
That we should let her go. That he doesn't have any business with her. And you know, despite the begging that, you know, a lot of people begged him not to bury my husband, but he insisted I was going to bury him. In fact, even the day they wanted to bury my husband, they didn't inform me. I got to know online.
You were not informed that you were going to bury your husband.
Mr. Chu, a whole lot has happened. Even the day my husband, even the day of his burial, they wanted to kidnap Liam from me at this scene. Like, my father-in-law and there's one woman. The woman is like, I don't know. I don't want to call it. The woman is, but they have a relationship. They have a close relationship. You know, it's more like they had plans in collecting Liam from me that day, because it got worse to the extent that we had to put Liam inside nylon to take him out of that space.
So you're saying this battles you've been fighting started from the day your
second
husband
day my husband died, up to this moment. Up to this moment. And so, the fact that the autopsy results came out inconclusive is one thing that I don't, it's hard to accept.
Yeah.
Because I knew so well that my husband actually had an injury from the fight he had with his friend.
Which friend?
His name is Prime Boy.
Okay.
And I also knew that he reacted to an injection. Because my husband was fine before the nurse came, although he had an injury. In fact, the day he died, he had a podcast with one girl. What's the girl's name? Susan Park.
Susan Pajok.
Pajok, yeah, I think.
I think so.
I don't know. He has a podcast. So for you to know, he was actually, and that was the day our son clocked 5 months. 12. I hate like that 12 number is a weird number to me. Because, it's the day I'm celebrating my child's birthday and I'm also mourning my husband. So, I knew he reacted to an injection, and the fact that at the end of the autopsy it came out inconclusive just because of one mistake that my father-in-law made. The fact that he buried him. If it was not buried, it should have been another thing entirely. But because it was buried, so they said his body has already decomposed. So most of the tissues that they are supposed to remove from his body has rotten. And the fact that it came up inconclusive is one thing I don't even want to accept. Yeah. Because Liam would go up to see all of these things and he would ask me questions, and the story would not be interesting if at the end of the day there was no justice for his father.
Yeah.